How you doing? This is the guy from Pittsburgh. And this morning I'm going to talk about something that people do and something they don't do. I watched Glendon Cameron's video this evening. Actually, I cheat. I don't watch it. I copy the audio to my computer because that way I can listen to it in bed or in the kitchen while I'm doing dishes. I might even carry it to the other room. And he's talking about how this economy is basically going to go in a tank. I think we're seeing a big indicator of that right now, in that we got a Congress that both sides don't want to talk. The fool we got in the White House, I refuse to negotiate. He's a child, wants everything his way. Same with Harry Reid. The GOP has sent 15 bills to the Senate because it has provisions that he or the Democrats don't like. Nothing gets done. He stops everything cold. One man in Congress shouldn't have that kind of power. And I'll make a prediction right now. If the default goes through, you're going to see a bloodbath in Congress in the next election. You're going to see Democrats and Republicans voted out, and they'll be lucky if the people don't storm the place, drag them out into the streets, and hang them from the lamppost. Not only that, what the hell are they going to do if all the seniors in this country and the veterans and the railroad pensioners and the people on disability, the people with kids on disability, be it male or female, you don't hear much about guys having kids on disability because they're widowers, but I'm sure they're out there. Let them then get their checks next month. Did you ever get to think that the biggest entitlement in the world, the biggest recipients of entitlement are United States senators and congressmen? A lot of them are rich already, but they get a government dole and they're in there for 20 and 30 years. And yet they dare to whine about people on disability and people who get Social Security and the entitlement mentality. Give me a break. Anyway, I'm going a little bit off topic there. One thing people don't do is they sit and they are complacent. They don't say anything. They don't do anything. And they keep, to quote from the Crystal Gale song, they're waiting for the times to get better, end quote. Well, the times ain't going to get better. You need to go and make your own times better, because if you rely on the government, well, they can screw you at any time and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I'm getting a check-in soon, and I was thinking maybe I should pay a whole car payment ahead of time, pay my bills, there wouldn't be much left over. And a friend of mine said you should keep a little money aside, because what are you going to do if they default and come November 1st you can't pay your rent, or you got no food to live on, you can't pay your PG&E bill, your phone bill, and my cell phone bill is killing me. I made the mistake of trusting my mother, who said she would pay for the bill if I got a cell phone. She could always get a hold of me. And once that contract goes up, bye-bye Verizon. I'll find somebody else. I'm sure there's someone cheaper than my iPhone. And you got to go, if you sit and wait for a better job, more money to come in, but you're not willing to do what it takes to make that money, you're never going to get anywhere, and you're going to be broke or poor or on disability or unemployed or at a nowhere job where you're making the owner of that job rich, while he or she would never say it to your face. They're laughing at you for being the fool because you're working that 40-hour week, 60-hour week, 80-hour week, and I've done that. I've worked 80-hour weeks years ago without going home for a month solid, without going home for 32 straight hours because people didn't show up to work and they asked me if I would cover it. And I got mad because I wanted to see if I could do 4 shifts in a row without any sleep. So what you need to do is make a plan, decide what you're going to do, and go through with it. And there's another thing. Over in my corner is a television. I noticed something one night. Somebody asked me, did you watch the Pirates? Did you watch St. Louis, the baseball players? Did you watch football? And I said, you know what? I haven't watched TV in 2 days. I got so involved with what I was doing, away from the computer, going out with my girlfriend, doing stuff we had to do to survive. I forgot to watch television. And Glendon Cameron talks about that too. I love his videos. They're informative as hell. If you haven't seen his videos, watch him, subscribe. The man has a lot of basic common sense. You'll learn a lot. I got back to the television this weekend, yesterday, and started watching football commentators and the after-game reports. And I started hearing the same phrases over and over again, and the commentators laughing at their own inane jokes. It's as bad as the guy on the World Series of Poker whose name escapes at the moment. I can't stand him. He makes the stupidest jokes. He stopped making sexist jokes. I think they got a lot of complaints. But he thinks his stuff is funny, and it's not funny. I used to have a friend named Glenn, he's dead now, who would make these jokes and laugh at them, and it drove my girlfriend crazy because his stuff wasn't funny. Now, some of his stuff was, but a lot of guys think they're being funny, and they're not. It falls down to the floor like a dead potato. And they don't realize that what they think is humorous sounds really stupid. You sound like an idiot. So anyway, sit down, turn the TV off, turn the radio off, chase the kids out of the room, chase the wife out of the room, chase the husband out of the room, whatever your situation is. If you live alone, shut off everything and sit down one day and say, I got to have a plan to get out of the rut I'm in, whether it's a job, not enough money, no job, no income, disability, and say, I'm going to do this. I don't have a plan yet because I'm still formulating it in my head. I'm still trying to see what will work, what won't work, but I'm going to get there. Because I'm tired of living on disability, and I'm tired of taking money from the government that can take it away from me at any time. And I could be out on the street again. I'll be damned if I'm going to be homeless again. I've been there, done that twice. And I wasn't as bad as these guys who were pushing shopping carts around. I was living in my car. Thank God I had a car. But there are people living in tents by the freeway, culverts, in doorways, and everything else. And that's another thing I don't get. This is America. We got hundreds of thousands of boarded-up houses that are being bulldozed in places like Detroit. Why aren't we giving those boarded-up houses that will never be sold to the homeless families? Why aren't they able to live in them? They can take care of them. They can live in them and caretake them, and you can make an agreement with them, take care of the property, fix it up, spruce it up, make it look good. There's no reason for us to have all these boarded-up houses and buildings and blight in America. This is the richest country in the world, but we treat the people who are down on their luck like there's some kind of cockroach need to be stamped out. Particularly if you don't have a job, people look at like you're something to be shunned, like you're a vampire and they got to ward you off at a cross. So anyway, this is the guy from Pittsburgh saying, do something to help yourself. But when it comes down to it, other than family or people to care for you, there ain't nobody going to help you out but yourself. And I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.